YouTube. This is an Arcana Force deck profile. I will go over some of the cards. This is pretty consistent, but it still is a luck-based deck, and some of these cards are preference, so it's up to you. Arcana Call. This one lets you use Arcane Force effects. So mainly what I use this for is replaying the world, the Magician, sometimes the Emperor if I'm really desperate and just need a little attack boost, or the Fool since he protects your Arcane Force cards. Now, one Rivalry of Warlord. This card is basically used to control your opponent since Tour of Doom, I don't really like the coin flip idea, and just by using creature swap with my Arcane Force the Fool, giving this to your opponent, it does the same thing and no coin flip and no downside. Level Compulsory Lab. This one I like myself. It keeps with the theme of coin flips, and there really is zero drawback. I mean, the only slight thing is if you get a 1, 5, or 6, you're going to have to tribute one monster, or you're going to have to send it to the graveyard. But most of your monsters require 2 tributes, so this pretty much comes in handy for all situations. Fiend Command. Now this is real good since I use Napoleon and Chaos Necromancer. Even if you get the wrong coin flip, it means you just dump monsters in your graveyard so you can activate those, summon Napoleon, or have Chaos Necromancer go for an O2K. If you get the card right, then you're going to get rid of all your opponent cards, so that basically would be if they were going to search out a card for their graveyard, you're saying, nope. Blaster with Ruin. This kind of goes with that Fiend Commander. It lets you it lets you deal 3,000 points of damage for your card. Really helpful. Now, 2 by order of the Emperors. This I decided was, instead of second coin toss or lucky chance, just negate your Arcane Force card and let you draw a card. This comes in real handy. Now, I will mind you, you cannot use this card while you have Light Barrier Heads effect activated. Reverse of Fate, 2 cards, just basically to help control your Arcane Force on the ones you want their effects. Monterine card, in case you dump or you want to replay cards, this is good because you will use Honest and other effects, so always helpful. Dice Pool. Now this one, it has really only a 33% chance of going bad on you, and I just like it since they stick with the Gamble Fiend instead of using Mythical Space Typhoon. You can use that if you like. Valhalla, self-explanatory fairy deck. Now Court of Justice, this works real good because you use Arcane Force the Fool, and the Moon summons level 1 tokens, so this does basically a Valhalla while you have monsters on the field. 2 creature swaps, kind of your heart and soul. Pretty much I would suggest using the Fool or Empress if you got her Tails effect. Curse of Dragonland. This is probably one of your better boost attack cards because this basically means you gain life points every time you do damage, and a clear hit on this means your opponent not going to reduce your life points very easy. 3 Light Barriers. These really help out in just controlling your Arcane Force. I do use Light Ray Diabolus, so having the field spell destroy does help create control. Chaos Necromancer, basically your last resort card. Honest, it's a light deck, always need Honest. 2 Nova Summoners. I saw about 3, but I'm like, there aren't that many options to summon, so this is mostly used to either search out Honest or get your Fools out in defense. 2 Arcane Force the Fools. So about 3 doesn't really help with using 3, because once I get 1 out, and if I get their Tails effect, my opponent doesn't really have too many options to get rid of it. The Magician, I just really use the 1 for Arcana Call and easy quick beater. The Empress, just use 1. Have 2, the Emperors, really use him because once you get them out, they start getting some good attack points on your Arcana. This one I could probably had used another Emperor or anything, but I just like using this on the consistency, and all I have to do is protect this once if I go for the heads effect, and then I can summon the world or the moon. The chariot, I did get bad luck with this, so I don't like it. I always get tails when I play this. This is basically a Karibo, except for you can activate it on your opponent's turn as well. The moon, this is real good. It lets you, even if you get a tails effect, you just give your Arcane Force that have the tails to your opponent or your fool, so then they basically have to suffer having those monsters. The world, you never want this on tails. You get this heads, basically just keep on tributing when you can, and you're just going to watch your opponent suffer. When you get Court of Justice up with a fool, you're pretty much going to be able to get those monsters and skip your opponent's turn so long you have monsters in your hand. Athena, she lets you reset your Arcane Force card that you don't have by order of the Emperor or have the Light Barrier, so she basically lets you get a second coin flip if you want to, as well as dealing extra damage. Like Ray Diabosa, really helps since it is a light deck, does destroy 2 cards, and doesn't cost anything to summon. Tunic, I never get around to playing this because I never draw him when I need him, but he does help out with if you're going to have your monsters destroyed, he special summon himself, and then it destroys your opponent monster and prevent them from playing another one of the same attribute. Dark Lord Atrus, real good since he lets you deck destruct a few of your fairies that you know you're probably not going to play, and when he does, he lets you play 2 monsters, so contribute summon anyone you want. Dark Lord Desire, probably one of your better cards, only require 1 tribute, so long they're fairy. All your cards are fairy except for 2, so not hard. And then he can get rid of any monster on the field since he sends for the price of 1,000 attack. Meditation lets you get rid of quite a few problematic cards and cannot be destroyed, so that does always help out. And Napoleon, the last of your boss monsters. Basically special summoning fairy and deal a ton of damage. Okay, that's my Arcane Force deck. I hope you enjoy.